On today's video, we are going to be looking at 3 different feet, starting off with this right front, then this left rear, followed up by this gnarly left rear foot. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. Now these first 2 trims are actually on the same cow. Looking at this right front, it looks like we've got an ulcer situation going on here. So let's get a closer look and we'll figure it out. You're going to notice that is not the glue that I use. That's right. This is actually a foot that another trimmer had worked on. So we're going to do the follow-up for him and see exactly how the healing is coming along. So I spray this out and take a look inside there. Sure enough, we have got a sole ulcer. So now you might be asking yourself, why is there 2 hoof trimmers on the same farm? That's because this farm milks about 1,100 cows. They've got about 1,600 head total. That's too many feet for me to do, and this is one of my furthest farms away, so there's 2 of us, 2 different trimmers that trim on this farm. I trim one week, and the other guy trims on the other week. So what we're doing here is just following up on one of his trims, taking a look and see what it looks like. You can see still an ulcer present here. So what I'm going to do, even though we all have our own styles for trimming, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually model this out further. I'm going to trim this the way that I would typically trim it. And that is I'm going to trim all the way around that ulceration. And then I'm going to thin the area all the way around and create a much larger model than was there originally. All that's going to do is allow that hoof horn to flex more and so it doesn't irritate that area as much. You can see here we've still got a few more edges I want to work around here, get that all trimmed away and get this so that it's fully exposed. The whole key to this, in my opinion, is just to try to get that ulcer free of any potential sharp edges that could irritate it. And by thinning out all the areas around that is going to just decrease the odds of any irritation happening with this particular lesion. Now, I obviously didn't get to see this on day 1, but I can tell here that it's actually improving quite a bit. Typically, this is going to be much larger and it's going to look much more alive. We can see that it's starting to retract, and there is a little bit of digital dermatitis on it. I think that's what's keeping this from healing over right now. So we're going to get it cleaned really well, and we're going to put a salicylic acid wrap on that, of course, and hopefully that should take care of that. We're going to get this wrapped up, and then we're going to move on to that left rear, take a look at that baby. So how did we do with this left rear? Well, it looks a little raggedy, but just from loose horn. Overall, I think, based on first impressions anyway, looked like it healed up pretty nicely. We're going to get this trimmed a little bit and investigate it further, but it looks like nice hard hoof horn there, which is exactly what we want to see. Now this area up in here, this dark colored area, once again, that is just staining. That's good sound hoof horn. I'm not going to remove any of that because I don't need to. The area that was the problem was right here. There's a slight little bit of openness yet there, so we are going to wrap that up. But this, I can tell too, is actually improved drastically. That dark area would have been really super soft hoof horn 3 weeks ago. Right now it's all firmed up, so we've just got that little tiny area in the middle once again to get to heal, and then she'll be good to go as well. We're going to get her out of the chute, and that is really the telltale sign that she's coming along nicely. She walks pretty well having 2 blocks on. Now moving on to this left rear, I can tell right off that this problem, it's going to be on the medial claw. That is a pretty sizable chunk of hoof horn. What do you suppose we're going to find when we get to the bottom of this one? The area that I'm working should give you a hint with this one. I'm spraying this out thoroughly right now because if there is exposed corium here, I want to be able to see it before I start working with my knife. Can you spot exactly where the problem is? That's right, it's right in here. We are dealing with a white line issue. Only the odd part here is it's on the medial claw, which is not typically where we find them. Usually, we're going to find these on the lateral claws of the back feet. Let's investigate it closer and see what we got. Based on its location, I have no worries about the block getting in my way, so we're going to get that on right now. And just like that, it's on. How do I know that these marks up here aren't the problem? How do I know that it's in this white line right here? And it all has to do with location. When you find a problem like this, there's only certain places that you're going to find it, and in the white line is likely where this one's going to be, right where I'm working right now. Those other marks, it's just staining, just low spots in that hoof where that coloration becomes darker because of that, because it's not making contact with the ground. These dark areas along the white line, that's where you have to focus. That's where that can work into that junction and where you can end up having problems. As we look here, it's pretty plain to see that we're on the right track. Now, just because this is small in size doesn't mean it's that easy to heal. Sometimes the smaller the lesions, especially like this, can be even more difficult because it's not a large area for that oxygen to get into. Yes, it is a smaller area to get to heal eventually, but we got to make sure that we have the right conditions for that healing to happen. Otherwise, size really doesn't matter in this case. But like I've said before, the location is the key here, and the ability to be able to open that up. Because I was able to notch this area out and fully expose that, this is going to clean up quite nicely. You can see we've got that loose horn removed all the way around there. Those margins are thinned. So now we're going to get this wrapped up, and she should be good to go. Follow up with her in a little bit and see if I was successful as that other hoof trimmer was on those first 2 feet. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.